Hello, welcome to Screen Talk with yours truly, Nomfanelo. So, I want to talk about Coverfly with this video in regards to the recent events surrounding the company. If you are not aware, Coverfly is essentially a platform that essentially hosts various screenwriting competitions, events, all that sorts of stuff from various companies. So essentially, think of it as like a hub for writers to apply to different contests to get different resources to network, all that sorts of stuff, essentially. So, before I get into the story here, I want to share my experience with Coverfly since I am a writer myself. So, as a writer, I've used Coverfly to apply to different contests, which has not worked out for me mainly, but it has worked out for me in terms of finding resources, going to different virtual events, network with writers and all that stuff. But also too, I was able to get a paid freelance gig as a script reader. So essentially after doing a lot of volunteer work as a script reader, I managed to get my first paying gig as a script reader. I worked for 4 years. It has taught me a lot, I would say, about script coverage with feedback and also too with the craft of screenwriting. So it definitely has its pros and cons in regards to being a script reader and all that stuff, but I enjoyed it more for the learning experience, and I'll always be very appreciative for Coverfly on that front. So now let's get into the purpose of this video. So I was browsing on Facebook on April 30th, and I stumbled upon an article from No Film School where essentially talks about Coverfly shutting down. Let me share my screen here. So their article says here, Coverfly shutting down. What does this mean for screenwriters? Another avenue to be found is closing. Breaking in is getting very hard. So essentially, it seems like this, because Coverfly is part of industry arts, essentially industry arts owned, I would say, a lot of services such as Screencraft, We Screenplay, Tracking Board, the Script Lab, Film for Ray, and most of the companies under the industry arts umbrella have shut down. Film for Ray, it looks like it's not going to close, at least as of now, but I won't be surprised if that were to be announced to be shutting down. But yeah, this is interesting. So essentially, in the article, the writer Jason Hellerman essentially said that he was forwarded an email by a friend. Essentially, it's from Coverfly that state that their website was going to shut down, and he shared the screen grab, essentially saying, yeah, that they're going to be discontinuing their services on August 8th. Says here, while this decision reflects a strategic shift in focus for our parent company, it by no means diminishes the impact or importance of the incredible programs we've been honored to support. Our goal is to ensure all partners are given ample notice and support throughout this process, and we'll be in touch with more detailed timelines and next steps soon. We understand that this may come as disappointing news, and we remain committed to a smooth and respectful transition. Our team is available to assist with data exports, redirect messaging, or any wrap up logistics needed on your end until October 1st, 2025. So that's essentially what that says here. So, yeah, honestly, with this news and also too, like with industry art shutting down most of the services that they previously owned, it makes me, yeah, question like what is going on here. I'm just wondering, was this a financial decision? Many would argue that from an outside perspective, they're closing all these companies to make one big company that offers the services in one place. But I don't know if that is the case, though. I've seen many people online have shared their theories on what's going on. You could dive deep into those if you visit Reddit or Twitter and all that stuff. But for me, though, like I question, since all this stuff has been public, why has not Coverfly issued a public statement about this? If, let's say, this stuff was not true and if it was just speculation, you figured that they would immediately made a statement to debunk that stuff, but it seems like this is true with them shutting down. I've seen a lot of writers are not happy with this news. Now there are a couple of those that are actually thrilled because people. I guess people have their own experiences with Coverfly. I've seen that this has sparked a conversation in terms of what does this mean for screenwriters. Now, I don't think this is going to limit people's chances of getting into the business. Now, had, let's say, Coverfly essentially was the gatekeeper for all of these services and then that shut down, we'd be having a different conversation. So I would say, yeah, there are different ways in terms of achieving success or trying to break in the industry. Because we have seen that there are many different paths. Not everyone is going to follow the same path and all that stuff. So, because if, let's say, writers want to do the contest route and all that stuff, I would first say, like, do the due diligence, research the companies and all that stuff before applying to them, essentially. But yeah, there's still other places still standing, at least at the time of this recording. You have Pipeline Media because they have a script pipeline and they have their own resources with the symposium banner and all that stuff. Also, too, you have Roadmap Writers, you have Stage 32, and I'm sure there's a bunch of different others. So I would say, yeah, just for writers, do the research if that is the avenue you want to take in terms of that path. I would say another path is to do it yourself, like create your own company, create your own network, whatever the case may be. I've previously made a video, sorry, on Brass Knuckle Films. Robert Rodriguez created his own studio that's using the crowdfunding model essentially to get films done under that banner. And I think we're seeing more of that happening. I saw that Eli Roth is launching his own studio for horror films, essentially. So I do see um, a lot of filmmakers, creatives going in that direction in terms of trying to get their stuff made, essentially. So I do think writers should explore that path as well, too. Or another path I would say is to explore different mediums, like podcasting, for example. That could be another way to get their stuff done, even though it's not in the film or TV lane. At least with podcasting, you don't have to worry about costs as much, I would say. But yes, you do have to adjust to writing in the audio format. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Coverfly with this news shutting down. I want to know, what do you guys think about this news? Is this a disaster for writers? Is it not? Let me know in the comment section. So also too, if you want to support me, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/Nomfanelo, where you can donate either one time or monthly. But also too, you can view my posts that I have there and all that stuff. Also, you can follow me there for free. and all that stuff. Also, too, if you want to follow me on social media, my links are in the description. So I want to say thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to catch you on the next one.